Hello again, welcome to our second class related to Unit 9, Part 2, Nature. In this part, we are going to continue studying the other content, so pay attention. In this part, we are going to remember. In the grammar section, we will study articles and making guesses. In the vocabulary part, we will practice the outdoors and animals. In the reading section, we will read and understand an article about an experience in the wild. In this listening comprehension, we will listen to people discussing quest questions and watch an extra for a documentary about the Northern Lights. In the speaking practice, we will give your ideas on life in the city or the country, talk about different animals, and talk about amazing animals. In the writing part, we will write about abuse of the environment and write a travel blog. Today, we are going to practice the grammar section articles. We have classified articles with indefinite articles and pay attention. A and are considered indefinite articles, and we are going to practice with an example. When do we use it? When we use the first time something it is mentioned. Example, I saw a lion yesterday. We use a or an before singular nouns. Example, there's a library in the town. And we also use indefinite article a or an before job titles in general. Example, I am an actor. Please don't forget we use a before a consonant sound and we use an before a vowel sound. When do we use the article the? Remember, we use the article there to talk about something that has already been mentioned or information that the speaker and the listener already know. Example, I saw a lion. The lion was sleeping. We also use the to talk about something when there is only one. Example, I look at the moon, the sun, the stars. We also use the before some plural places name. Example, the United States, the United Kingdom, the Philippines. We also use the before seas, oceans, and rivers. Example, the Atlantic, the Pacific. We also use the before the names of some areas, the northwest of England. In some phrases with prepositions, in the evening, at the beginning, and with superlatives, she is the tallest. And pay attention to this rule when we are not going to use the article, no article or zero article. Example, we don't use the when we talk about things or people in general. Example, dogs are friendly animals. Before plural nouns, we don't use the. I'm talking for classes, then this term. Before most cities, countries, and continents, remember, we don't use the before cities or countries. I live in Germany, and in some phrases with prepositions. Example, on Tuesday, at sea, in hospital, at work, at church. Now we are going to practice. On page 91 on your books or materials, you are going to read 5, 6 sentences and we are going to practice. With a guide, a huge anaconda snake. The snake was very hungry in the Amazon in Peru. Tropical birds in Peru. Rule number one, use a and before singular nouns. I travel on a boat. Use a and the first time we mention the thing person. Number two, a huge anaconda snake. Use a and before job titles in general. B, a guide is someone who directs people to meet a place. Number two, use the before nouns when there's only one. Example, the moon. Use the before the name of some places. The Amazon, person, thing, and the listener knows which one, like the Amazon in Peru. Uses that in some phrases with preposition on the first day, in the wild, on the left. 3, we use no article before most cities, countries, and continents. Example, I was on a trip in Argentina, like in Peru in number 6. Use no article before plural nouns, Covering mosquitoes, use no article to talk about general types of grooving things. Use no article in some phrases with preposition for lunch, for month, on occasion, at night, in class. So you can put the number of the sentences in order to practice. Remember A before a consonant, N before a vowel, and D with specific things. In the next part, we are going to listen, recording, and find the mistakes below. There is one mistake in each sentence. Pay attention.
Unit 9. Recording S9.5.
1.
I always wanted to be a host of nature programs.
2.
I was one of many tourists in South America.
3.
A guide met us at the airport. The next day, the same guide took us hunting.
4.
On the second day, the guide took us to a river.
5.
I sometimes make a program in Britain.
6.
In my job, I can explain the natural world to millions of people.
7.
I hate insects in general, but especially hate mosquitoes.
8.
I had the camera in my bag.
So you could listen in each sentence. There are some mistakes, okay? There is one mistake in each sentence, and this is important for you to keep in mind. Now, in the next part, we are going to listen sentences about and using this. Pay attention.
Unit 9. Recording S9.6.
1.
I met wonderful people in the Amazon.
2.
The birds we saw were amazing.
3.
I have a great idea.
4.
We need to put up a tent.
5.
We took photos of the beautiful scenery.
So remember in this part, in exercise 3, in American English we say I have, in British English we say I got. So it's important to make the difference and to know two or both actions. To continue, we are going to practice the third point of grammar or functions that are making guesses. So when do we use it? Is it possible? With an example, and when it is not possible. We use making guesses when it could plus infinitive. Example, he could be late because of traffic. We use it might plus infinitive. Example, it might beat John at the door. Maybe is an antelope, and perhaps she went to bed late last night. So when something is possible, it could plus infinitive, it might plus infinitive with maybe and perhaps. When something it is not possible, when we use it can't be or it is definitely not. Example, it can be Mary's coat because she didn't come to the party, and it is definitely not. Example, what's the answer? It is definitely not A. So let's see the examples in your books or your material in order to give you what to do. Okay, now let's see. In the next part, we are going to listen the conversation between a man and a woman, and you will listen to this part. Pay attention.
Unit 9. Recording S9.7.
Why do we use rats after an earthquake? I'm not sure. It might be to help find people or other animals?
Yeah, they used to rescue people. They can move in small spaces, and they have a good sense of smell, so they can find people.
Why do some prisons use abandoned dogs? Let me think. It could be as prison guards. Maybe they use the dogs to guard the prisoners? Actually, no, it can't be that, because they'd be trained dogs, not abandoned dogs. I don't know.
Okay, it says it was a program that started some years ago. Abandoned dogs are taken to prisons, and then the prison inmates take care of them until the dogs are adopted.
Why does the army use dolphins? It's definitely not to attack people because dolphins are kind of nice. It's hard to say. I really don't know.
Dolphins are used to protect areas of water. They can detect swimmers who shouldn't be there. A light is attached to the dolphin's nose. The dolphin bumps into the swimmer, and the light falls off its nose. This tells the army where the swimmer is.
Why did airport security plan to use gerbils in the 1970s? Perhaps they can smell drugs or something like that.
Gerbils can smell people's adrenaline. When someone is excited, scared, or angry, adrenaline is released by the body. The airport security bosses hoped the gerbils would smell terrorists or other criminals in airports. In the end, the idea was abandoned because gerbils didn't know the difference between terrorists and people who were just scared of flying.
Why do we use seals for research in the ocean? That's a good question. It might be because they can live in very cold temperatures.
They can dive deep down into freezing water. Scientists can attach research equipment to the seals' bodies, and this doesn't stop the seals from diving and swimming.
Okay, so you can practice a conversation in order to improve the words that you already know the meaning. In the next part, we are going to listen the silent letters. Remember, with modals like could, might, and can, we have silent letters. Pay attention.
Unit 9. Recording S9.8.
1,
It could be. It could be you.
2,
It might be. It might be us.
3,
It can't be. It can't be them.
So if you want to review, you can go on page 148 to see the language bank. Now let's listen another recording and the conversation about this. Play.
Unit 9. Recording S9.9.
Okay. The most beautiful place I've been to. Well, a few years ago, I went to Fish River Canyon.
Where?
Fish River Canyon. It's the second biggest canyon in the world,
After the Grand Canyon?
after the Grand Canyon.
Where is it?
It's in Namibia, in Africa.
Wow. And what did you think of it?
It was amazing. The first thing you notice is how big it is, of course.
Of course.
It just goes on, as far as your eye can see. But the best thing about it was the silence.
Really?
It was so amazingly quiet. We went there in August, and there weren't many tourists. And it was just so quiet.
Would you like to go back?
I would love to go back. One day.
One day.
All right, in this part, you can see on page 195 and complete the sentences that they are talking about the places. In the next part, you will see the preview about a video, You're Lonely in the Northern Land of the Northern Lights. So after you watch the video, you can answer the questions and solve, okay? So pay attention. And according to this, you can see lights, books, dogs, people, and snow. And meanwhile, you watch the video, you can complete the spaces in blank. So pay attention and enjoy the video about Northern Lights.
The far north. Fairy tale mountains. It's just fabulously beautiful. The land of the magical northern lights is somewhere I've longed for all my life. And there was this picture which haunted me. Of a sort of rippling curtain and a little tiny penguin. The weather near Tromsø is uncertain, but local guide Kjetil Skøgli promises me we'll track down the lights, even if it takes till morning. I can't see anything, Kjetil.
No, it's nothing yet. You just have to be patient.
Okay, so just wait here.
Yeah, you just wait here.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks, Kjetil. I stand in the pitch black by the side of the fjord and wait. Look much brighter there. Oh, something's happening there. Look up here. Look what's happening here. Look at that. I can't believe I'm seeing this. It's fantastic. I'm as happy as can be. This is the most astonishing thing I've ever seen.
Great. After watching the video, you could see and review the most important topics about grammar, vocabulary, and the video. Next, remember, this is important for you to practice, because practice makes perfect. For your attention, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next classes. Bye-bye. Hope to see you soon.